Alright, so I'm back, and I'm on the way to work, but figure I'd just take the camcorder with me today and do a rant of the week in the car, because, hey, it worked last week, so what the hell are they doing? This guy's just driving on the wrong side of the road. Because it worked last week, so I figure, what the hell? I got time to kill in the car. Might as well do the rant of the week. So, rant of the week this week is it's characters that aren't. I mean, it kind of goes into the whole share the love thing that I did. You know, a few of those a while ago, but it kind of goes into that too. But it goes with characters that haven't really gotten the Generations style treatment, Generations, Classics, Universe, whatever you want to call it. And they and just, you know, they haven't. I think they're missing an opportunity on some great characters. You know, it's like, you know, Optimus has been in almost every single line. Well, he has been in every single line. Bumblebee's been on almost every single line. If you count Cheetor and Hotshot, which are characters that were essentially Bumblebee, then he was in every single line, because they're both yellow and they're both scouts. So one could say that they were in all of them. But there are some characters that just, either from G1 they haven't gotten any love, or from newer series that they may have recycled the name from a G1 character, but the character was completely different. And that character hasn't gotten love, or the appropriate love. So let's get right into it. One of them being Lockdown. I really enjoyed his character in Transformers Animated. I thought he was great. I think, and you know, he's gotten the movie treatment twice, and they recycled the Revenge of the Fallen Lockdown and called him, you know, they're calling him Classics Lockdown now. And I personally would love to see just a Classics Lockdown. I think he would be a great character, and I think they're really missing a great opportunity to get that character into the Classics universe by making him look Revenge of the Fallen. I think it's very unfortunate, and I think he'd be great in that. Another, you know, Animated came out with some great characters that I really enjoyed, and the show itself wasn't the best, but like Bulkhead, he's gotten, you know, he was in Animated, and then he was in Prime, and let's face it, he was in the Age of Extinction movie, but they misnamed him Hound for one reason or another, and he was great. I like the character. You know, he's big, he's strong, he's kind of dumb, but, you know, lovable type character. I thought he was a great character. But he doesn't had a Classics incarnation, and I think that'd be a great character to have as Classics. You know, instead of doing that big goofy looking chin, they could just do like a mouth plate like Optimus Prime or something like that. I think, like I said, I think they're missing a great opportunity there, along with Lugnut. Yeah, the Revenge of the Fallen Lugnut, Reveal the Shield version, is now being used as the Classics version, but it still looks like movie. It still looks like a Bayformer to me. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish he was. I wish he would be a classic style, big bomber Decepticon, and you can put little tattoos on him that say poke, which is punch of kill everything, in case you don't know, because he would like punch and that was his bomb or something. It was pretty fun. So it's like he didn't get the appropriate love. And I think, like I said, I think they're really missing opportunities there. Let's see, who else? Knockout. There's one, I know they recycled the name, but the character was completely Transformer Prime. He was not, that character was never in G1 at any time. So I think I mean, come on, Decepticon, like that, the character was great, the fact that he was like the doctor, and helped put Decepticons back together. You know, I don't think we really have any Doctor Decepticons. We have some scientists, but no real doctors. Hell, in G1, Starscream was the one that was patching Megatron back together half the time, and that's or Bombshell would, but we don't get Starscream, or we don't get Knockout, and I think he'd be awesome in classics. I'm gonna pause this for a few minutes. So I'm back. Sorry, I had to get up for a little bit. So let's see, Galvatron. You know, well, with Unique Toys, we've gotten a great Galvatron. Hasbro dropped the ball with the Universe one, but Galvatron didn't. Shockwave. Fans Toys did the pretty cool Masterpiece style one, and Mastermind Creations did that really big boat, and let's see, Generations has, you know, that little dinky one, but he's not getting the appropriate, he should be a Voyager class figure, and I think they're really missing the ball on that one too. Let's see, who else? Robots in Disguise Scourge. Now there's one I think, I mean, yeah, Nemesis Prime is all over the place, but Scourge isn't. There's the TF Transformers Collector Club Scourge, but I mean, unless you're wanting to spend $100 for a deluxe figure, I mean, you're not getting him. I mean, I would love to see a Scourge, or Scourge, whatever you want to call him. I would love to see that, and I would love it if it was a new mold too, because he was a different character. You know, that's one thing I really liked about him, is that he wasn't just the black repaint of the current Optimus Prime. He was the black repaint of a previous Prime, but not for the one in the show. The one in the show never looked like that. He was a fire truck, whereas Scourge was a diesel truck. So it was really cool that he was not just a copy of Prime, and he was a character in his own right. I would love to see that. Just like a whole new black semi-truck mold that looks like Optimus Prime, but it isn't an Optimus Prime from before, with the silhouetted upside down G2 Autobot logos, because that was the Combaticon logo in Robots in Disguise. So I think I would love to see that, and especially if you came with like the tanker that turned into the battle station and stuff like that. Ruination. Now, yeah, he did get kind of a homage when they did the Wreckers out of the Bruticus mold, but they weren't. Ruination was never the Wreckers. They were Combaticons, just newer versions of them. How come we can't get some new ones of those? I would love to see. I would love to see like if they were just completely different molds. I know that's really pushing hard because everybody wants to do Bruticus, and then if they do a repaint, then they'll do G2 Bruticus and then Ruination, and that works because that's what it was. But I mean, I think it'd be cool to see just a whole new mold that just happens to be the same vehicles as Bruticus, and that way you could have a different looking Bruticus standing next to Ruination. I think that would be awesome. Way to get a whole new combiner out of the whole deal. But everybody's doing Bruticus, so I mean, it's like, if they would have done the Bruticus mold in Ruination colors for the Fall of Cybertron, I would have that in my collection. There's no doubt in my mind I would have that in my collection. And I'd have it standing next to the Warbatron's Bruticus. And I would not be upset about that at all. I especially liked how, unlike Bruticus and most other, or any other combiners really, he was never like a... like, oh, this is the configuration. It was like, oh, if he's going to do land assault, the flyers were on the legs. If he's doing air assault, then the flyers were on the arms. So they kind of changed it up every time depending on his needs. And I thought that was cool, and they're missing out on that too. Abominus. One, Hasbro did that little dinky Legends class Abominus, which, for what it is, it's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's not great, but I mean, for 5 little Legends class figures that are what, $5 a pop, I think that's a pretty solid combiner. And then they started making the upscale deluxes, but they never finished that. Which was really unfortunate because I thought that would be a really good set to have, especially if they made it to combine too. But they never finished that, and if they would have finished that, third parties would have come by and made more G1 accurate heads and stuff like that, made them look better, and that again would have been great. I would have loved that. Let's see, the Pronicons, Seacons and stuff. Now, again, I know I've said this before, I would love to see a Seacon set, and it would be great because they were also the set was also in Beast Wars Neo, I believe, or Beast Wars 2. I keep getting those two mixed up, but they're in that one as well, and in a completely different paint scheme. They were like white and gold, which was really cool looking color scheme, if I say so myself. And it'd be cool because whoever makes them can do that set as well and cater to both the G1 fans and the Beast Wars fans. Along those lines, Trypticon. Of course, everybody wants to see a Trypticon, but you could also repaint it as Gigatron from Beast Wars. One of the Beast Wars Neo or Beast Wars 2. Again, I don't remember which one it was from, but they remolded the Trypticon to make it as an upgraded Megatron or Galvatron, one of the two, I can't remember. I would like to see that. Because, again, you get 2 completely different characters with one mold, with a slight retool and repaint. But we're just not getting the appropriate figures to do that. Let's see, who else? I mean, I'm sure there's tons of G1 characters that haven't gotten any love. The Cyberjets. I would love to see some new Cyberjets, deluxe class or bigger. That would be cool. Let's see here. I would like to see most of the Beast Wars characters personally in pre-Beast Wars bodies. Hasbro tried to do that with Dawn of Futures Past, I think it was called. And that was, I mean, it worked, but it wasn't great. So quite frankly, I would like to see just new molds for them. I would also like to see the Beast Wars characters, like they're doing Rat Trap, Rhinox, Waspinator. I'd like to see all of them be remade to fit more classic style. Better designs, better sculpts, better transformations, and someone should just shoot whoever made that Cheetor for Universe 2.0. That was dreadful. Dinobot was okay, but Cheetor was dreadful. We still haven't really American release hasn't gotten Ravage from Beast Wars, and I don't know why. I know for the 10th anniversary figures they were going to reissue him for US, but they couldn't find the mold, I guess. So that sucks. But I mean, I don't. He was just a retool of the Transmetal Cheetor. So I would love to see him as just he doesn't even have to transform because there's no way to make that particular character transform properly. And the list can go on. I mean, I'm trying to think of other things. We're getting some great figures, but we're also getting, seeds of Bumblebee and tons of Primes and tons of Megatrons nobody wants. Lots of Starscreams, but it's like there's other characters that they could be focusing on, and let's see. Hardshell, there's a good one from Transformers Prime. Hardshell, he was supposed to be, the bombshell, basically, but the character was so different that I would be perfectly fine with him being a whole new Insecticon that we haven't gotten before. That would be awesome. I think that'd just be great. Fall Cybertron and the rest of the Insecticons. We only got one. Where's Bombshell and Shrapnel? We're getting a Bombshell and Shrapnel Legends, but so far we haven't seen a kickback. So, I think not only Hasbro, but a lot of third-party companies are missing a lot of revenue by, just making the same figures over and over again. There's 2 Defensors coming out, there's 3 Predakings coming out, and they could be focusing on other things. I mean, Mastermind Creations is making an RC, but Hasbro's also making an RC, so it's like, what's the point? There's 2 RCs coming out. For the longest time we didn't get any, and now we're getting 2. And that's not even including the Perfect Effect one, and the, I think iGear did one. So I'm almost at work now, so I'm going to turn this off, and then if I think of more during work, I'll bring them up after work when I'm driving home. So. Alright, so just got out of work and continuing on my rant of the week. So I still trying to think of other characters that really need some more attention. And the ones that really kind of stick in my head is Cliffjumper. The G1 Cliffjumper. I mean, he's really just bottom of the barrel, it seems like, for everybody. we got the Classics mold, which was just a repaint of Classics Bumblebee, same head and everything. Then we had the Generations War for Cybertron mold, which again was just a straight repaint of Bumblebee, although he did have a different head. So I guess there's that. Then the Generations GDO Bumblebee, or Cliffjumper, which was the Prime Cliffjumper with a G1 Cliffjumper head, which he's good enough, I guess, to fill in a slot. And then we get the Legends Bumblebee, we got a Legends Bumblebee and the Legends Cliffjumper, which was supposed to be a retool with a new head, but he didn't get that either. I would personally like to see just a whole new mold for Cliffjumper. I know everyone's like, oh, well, we got to do this and this and this so that, we can leave the retool open for another character, but damn it, Cliffjumper was a big enough character. I think he deserves his own goddamn mold. Or do the reverse. Do a Cliffjumper and then retool it into Bumblebee. Make sure Cliffjumper gets the right love first, and then Bumblebee. Because we've got plenty of Bumblebees. I just hope that the Masterpiece Bumblebee doesn't get just repainted into Cliffjumper. I doubt they would. Maybe an extensive retool, but I don't know. And let's see, who else? Oh, G2 Megatron. We had, let's see. Sorry, kind of going under the shadow of a mountain here. We had that deluxe class Megatron back at the beginning of Classics, who didn't look anything like the G2 Megatron, so I don't think he counts, not really. He was more like a Classics Megatron in a tank mode. Ooh, I just killed a rabbit. He hit hard. I wonder if you guys heard that. I feel bad now. Anyway, I really did not mean to do that, and it had nothing to do with the camera. It just ran right out in front of the road. And in these kind of roads up in the mountains, you don't swerve. You try to hit the brakes, but he ran out last second. Anyway, let's see. Then there was G2 Megatron, which was using the Revenge of the Fallen Bludgeon mold. Again, that's just a retool of an existing toy. And it's like sometimes I think they can get away with it, but that mold does not work for Megatron because it's so skinny and bony. It worked for Bludgeon because he was kind of a skeleton to begin with. So it looked really cool for Bludgeon, but it does not work for Megatron. And of course they repainted that in G1 colors, which is beyond me why they would do that. Ultra Magnus for Classics. What do we got? We got Fall Cybertron Ultra Magnus, which was his retool of the Optimus. And we've got the City Commander set, not including all just the straight white repaints. And that's pretty much it. What Hasbro should do, which would be really cool, if they want to do the white repaint of Optimus, is use the deluxe Optimus Prime from the original Classics line, repaint him white and give him armor. I think that would work probably better than anything else. And then if you did it right, you can kind of cover up the legs, which are kind of goofy looking, in truck mode. Just saying. Let's see. Machine Wars, which was BotCon 2013. which was an old line that was a KB Toy exclusive, which had pretty much everything that was going to be in G2 but got canceled. So they had a whole bunch of G2 figures, which was great. I mean, the Cyberjets continued in that, and you guys heard me talk about that one before. I love my Cyberjets, but one of the Cyberjets was actually Megatron. So it'd be kind of cool to see a new mold of Megatron for Machine Wars. You know, Megatron style head, but turns into a jet. I think that'd be pretty awesome. And then, you know, then you can repaint that into Megaplex and all the clones of Megaplex. You know, do one figure as Megatron and then do like a 3-pack for a little cheaper on each figure and have them all just straight clones of each other. I think that would be awesome. Let's see. I can't really think of any more off the top of my head, so question of the day is going to be who do you think needs to get more love in the generation style? You know, like I said, I mean, there's so many characters out there that just aren't getting love, and I'm sure there's so many things that I'm missing, and there's so many fans out there that's like, oh, I'd love to see so and so. And you know, everyone's probably in agreement. I just can't think of a good example. You know, like, yeah, I just can't think of one off the top of my head. But I mean, hopefully you guys know what I mean. Just it'd be cool to see. You know, see them catering to more of the obscure crowd than okay, these guys are only in it for the popular characters. I would like to see some more characters that are like, oh hey, like what Unique Toys did with Salmar or whatever you call him, the Psykill figure. I thought that was a great idea, and it's like, part of me is like, he's a GoBot, I don't really want to buy him, but at the same time, it's like, he's GoBot, I kind of want to buy him. Oh, Leader 1, where's my Leader 1? I mean, there's a coronation kit for Starscream a few years back that had a Leader 1 head that you kind of bash into the Starscream mold, which worked, but not very well. But I mean, if somebody was smart, they could do a Leader 1 mold, like a Voyager about the same size, and then they can retool the Voyager, that mold, into the Seekers, and sell the Seekers as more Generation 1 classic style Seekers. Because, I mean, as much as I love my iGear Seekers, if I had Voyager options that were G1 accurate, I'd buy those and sell the iGear ones in a heartbeat. I mean, there wouldn't even be a second thought on that. And again, that's a mold that, if done right and at a good cost, I mean, you can repaint that thing 1,000 times, and lots of collectors will keep buying it. I mean, look at the Masterpiece Seekers. I mean, everyone that does the Masterpiece collections got Masterpiece Seekers. Hasbro did Starscream, like 2 different versions of Starscream, the Tarka and then the Hasbro, and then Skywarp, Tarka, Hasbro, Thundercracker, Tarka, Hasbro, Acid Storm, Sunstorm, Tarka, Hasbro, new Starscream. Let's see, and there could be more. Even iGear jumped in on that bandwagon and got KO'd the Masterpiece Seekers and did the main 3, and then did the Coneheads, retooled them into Coneheads, and did a Sunstorm, which was great. I mean, not that they just knock off the figures, but the fact that they that they're able to get so many uses out of it, and they're sold out everywhere. And if you're going to try and find one of those masterpiece cone heads, you're looking at spending $300. Which, you know, I mean, if iGear was smart, they do a second production run and just sell them on eBay one at a time, and people will buy them. I'm not saying that wouldn't be a shady business deal, but I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I'd be tempted to do that if I were them. Just kind of like, huh, these guys, this is what they're paying on eBay, so might as well release a small thing and just sell them on eBay ourselves, and then we can get the aftermarket prices without, you know, and not tell anybody that we're doing that, and, you know, get those aftermarket prices without anybody knowing that it was them doing it. And then nobody would be like, oh, well, iGear's being, you know, shifty by re-releasing this and selling it for like twice as much. So yeah, I can't think of anything else really, but if you guys can think of anything, post it in the comments below. And other than that, I'm about to get on the highway, so I'll let you go.